Okay, last night I attempted a training mission with my comms equipment and I had a failure. And so I think I'm going to take Gaston's cue here and I'm going to share the failure because I did the training mission so I could learn something. And if I failed, I would want to learn from that failure. So this is why I recommend that people involved in prepper or emergency communications get amateur radio licenses because you can practice when there's no emergency. A lot of guys will say, well, in an emergency, I can do whatever I have to do. Yeah, that's great. But I don't want to be doing it in an emergency for the first time. So this is an odd piece of kit. This is an antique radio, pretty much. A Bridgecom BCH-220, and it's for the 1.25 meter band.
Power on.
And a local club has a repeater on this band. It's not used for very much other traffic. It's kind of a weirdo band. But on Wednesday night, they patch the 224 megahertz repeater to their 145 megahertz repeater. And they conduct a net, and you can check in using either repeater. So I wrote out a little mission statement here that this is what we would do. Check in on Wednesday night. Now, the first mistake I had was I had old information. The net I wrote down at 7:30. I got it here at 7:35. I had some family business. The net really starts at 7:15. So that was a failure. I had bad intel ahead of time, and I fixed that. What I was able to do was talk to some other guys that were still on the air. So the radio system was tested out as a method. I'm not going to call this primary. This is like contingency, but I wanted to test it contingency. I also operate this radio under the strategic radio condition criteria 4, but I call it 4W. We don't have unattended battery charging, and I don't believe this radio was designed to be left indefinitely on the charger. So it's everything in 4 except the batteries are not charging. But I call it 4W because I run them, test them once a week, and put it on the charger once a week. So that was the first failure. I was at the wrong time. The save was that other operators were on the 145 megahertz repeater. The patch was still up, and I was able to communicate with them. And that was a very helpful drill. Fleshed out an area, corrected my notes online. I haven't on the computer. I haven't printed them back out yet. So there it is. I was able to use the Bridgecom BCH-220 to connect to the local 1.25 meter repeater. The frequencies offset was correct, 224, 120, and the tone 123 hertz. All of that is in here and tested. And I also tested it using the VFO, mode and the memory channel, which is stored at 11 in this radio. I have the local state repeaters in Florida for this band, and I do have a chart somewhere here, it's not printed out, of what I have programmed in this radio. So all the standard repeater frequencies and the band plan simplex frequencies are on another chart, and that will go with the instructions. Here's the original instruction manual. I have a large printout of it as well. So we'll have all the information with the radio, with the charger, with the power adapter. This is the only antenna I have, and it works fine. I've thought about getting a signal stick for it. Maybe, maybe not. Okay. And I do have adapters to go to coax that fits these SMA connectors. All right. So there's an idea. Use the amateur radio license. Practice with your equipment, set up little challenges, and keep the documentation handy so that you aren't guessing or having to mess with it when you're under distraction or stress from a real emergency. All right, 7-3.